Hey, it's me, Rishikesh Kannan, popularly known as Hrishi K. Subscribe to my YouTube channel and hit the bell icon now to get the latest videos and get taken into a world of entertainment, culture, sport, business, and current affairs.
Just like me, you must have been in the delivery room for your deliveries. Huh?
I was not actually.
Oh,
that was no. I'm fine. That was a deliberate decision.
खून से कुछ है?
नहीं, खून से नहीं है. I was like, we want a very good sex life, so it's. I don't want to. She was also like, don't be there. Just don't be inside the room. I was like, okay, I agree with you.
I'm going to have a laughing fit now. 14th of October, this remarkable man is back in the movies. It's Dr. G. So happy to see you, brother.
Thank you. Same here, man.
Happy Dasera to Tyra, to you, the kids.
Thank you.
And I don't meet you often enough, so you need to up the number of films.
I have to, yeah. Wish I get great scripts, yeah.
You know, the thing is that we settled at a female gynaec. But there was a point, I mean, we had two children down, like you and Tyra. And there was a point when we were thinking of a male gynecologist, and I remember we had gone and met him before, our first child. And I noticed that how clinical he was about things. And to me, when I see the trailer of Dr. G, it is the before and the after.
Yeah.
And that must have been very interesting for you to explore how a man is really shit scared of becoming one, and then he becomes clinical, and the switch over, which in the hands of a lesser actor could have gone to hell, but you being the master of your craft. Talk to me about that transition.
I think more than the craft is the script, and is the female gaze of the film. It's not just me, it's also the director Anubhuti, the writers Sumit and Saurabh, and the producer Amrita, co-actors Rakul, Shefali, Sheeba. I think it's a perfect mix. In fact, it's the sex ratio is lopsided towards females. It's by the women, for the women, of the women. So this film is about that. It's very progressive. It's about losing the male touch. So onus lies on the guy to how he loses the male touch, and women don't feel uncomfortable with him as a gynaec. I know it's a taboo. I thought personally it's a taboo in smaller cities like Bhopal. It's based in Bhopal. It's relatively smaller, but even in Bombay, people prefer female gynaecs. So I think it's something which is very different, and it's a taboo, and we try to break it.
A friend was seeing an archive of an old interview of you and me, because we have the archives of the old interviews, and you know that we've been talking since you had before your debut. And she turned around and said, he has such great script sense because he said in an interview that he reads Murakami.
I've not read Murakami. Murakami for a while. Yeah, I miss Murakami.
Because I remember in one interview you had said, I read it when I like it. Maybe we were reading it at that point in time.
I was.
That's lovely. I love, what, I'm sorry to say this, I'm a huge fan of yours. I love your music, I love your movies. But the first thing I saw in the Oh Sweetie Sweetie video was the retro mic. How cool is it? And you spent a lot of time around mics, and you must have loved that in the video. I like that you're just sitting in one place and you have this old steel retro mic. Talk to me about that before we get into the song.
I think it's just for the show. It doesn't.
Very beautiful.
It is. It looks beautiful, but uski range utni nahi hoti hai. It's not that great anymore. Otherwise, you will be using retro mics in your studio.
Yeah. So that is, I've taken some and made them showpieces at home. It looks very nice. Yeah.
Sometimes they make it like trophies out of it, or maybe it's only for the shoot purpose.
Yeah. Now the song. It's not overproduced, which is what I like about it. What happens with a lot of music directors is that they overproduce songs. You're a musician yourself. There's a lot of effects, and they fill the sound and things like that. It's a very stripped down, bare kind of melody, which must have appealed to you.
It's a very conversational song. Like my last song was Mere Liye Tum Kafi Ho in Shumbang Gazar Sadhan. That was also very conversational. Similarly, this one is a very conversational song. It's very colloquial also in nature. Oh sweetie, oh cutie.
You Punjabis, I tell you.
You're right. But this is my second collab with Amit Trivedi.
Correct.
After Naina Da Kya Kasoor.
Yeah.
And that guy is a genius, and he's known for his quirk. And this film demands that quirk in the songs, because it's a quirky script. It's a great marriage between the music and the film.
However, there are a couple of tracks which are not done by Trivedi. I mean, these are relatively newer music directors. I like that Har Jagah Tu, which is, I love the hook line, the melody, and there's a dance track again. You know, and I can say this with a lot of confidence when I see you groove to dance tracks, that Diljit Dosanjh and Ayushmann Sharma, you can give them a ballad and they'll do the ballad style, but when they do the dance, they have the swag. So, would you agree with me? Are you saying with dance you're still a little...
Listen, my manager and my stylist, they think that I'm a non-dancer. Like they're sitting together right now, looking at me very critically.
Conspiracy theorists, huh?
Because I believe I'm a great dancer. It's in my head. Because
you have a groove.
I have a groove because I'm a musician. Yeah. But I have to keep that confidence up because otherwise how will I perform?
Yeah.
You know, but these two are, like they discourage me so much. No, you can't dance. You are very average. They do all the time. So with the Dhak Dhak, I tried. I only got 2 days to rehearse, 1 day to rehearse. So it's fine like that. I think हर एक गाने के नीचे लिखा होना चाहिए. This was rehearsed only for like a day and a half or something like that. This should be a disclaimer. But it looked good.
Yeah, I did. You know, friends in medical college or who passed out always say कि जिसके नंबर उतने अच्छे नहीं आते वो डेंटिस्ट्री में जाता है या रेडियोलॉजी में जाता है, बट द डेंटिस्ट हैव द लास्ट लाभ बिकॉज डेंटिस्ट मेक अ लॉट ऑफ मनी. You know what I mean? And I love that whole medical college vibe of ortho mein jana, gynac mein jana. Again, it's very, very good writing. But I'm just curious to know, when you were growing up in Chandigarh, did you have friends in medical schools, you know, guys you hung out with who had that kind of vibe?
I almost joined a medical college. In 11-12, I had taken physics, chemistry and bio. I gave All India PMT, CBSE PMT exams, Karnataka CET exams, and almost got selected in a dental college. But last minute I decided I think I'm an actor and I should not do this to myself. I chose arts. But yeah, I've been surrounded by doctors since time immemorial. My mama, mommy, they are doctors. Cousins are doctors. Most of my batchmates from like 11, 12, they have become doctors. So in fact, when I came to Bombay for the first time, I had nowhere to go. So I was staying in KEM hospital. My friend was doing MBBS from there and I was staying with him. Though I was not allowed to stay there, but since I had nowhere to go, so I had to wear a lab coat, enter and exit and give auditions and come back. So it was a great experience. So, you know, it's just surreal.
They're called pylons.
I was a pylon. I was that guy, yes. For one entire month, I was a quintessential pylon. And we were 3 guys sleeping in one room in our chaddis. Because गर्मी बहुत होती थी वहाँ पे. I remember that time. So yeah, it was good fun.
So is Anubhuti Anurag Kashyap's sister?
Yes.
Is she? Wow. So are the genes at play? Kashyap is an interesting character, yeah.
Anurag Kashyap gave a great compliment after watching the film. She's like, Anubhuti is the best director in the family. That's what he said. I was like, okay.
Very good one.
Yeah.
Good one.
Yeah.
No, but obviously, you know, the demand, the craft as far as handling humor and the script seems to be really, really good. But also, you know, at an execution level, when you're doing scenes in a medical college and you're dealing with this kind of milieu, you found her at the top of her game?
Yes, absolutely. Like she's also a co-writer of the film. And we've got the research right. We have other writers, Sumit Saxena and Saurabh Bhagat. And Saurabh Bhagat's wife is a gynecologist.
Nice.
So she was always on set. Always. Irrespective whether what is an operation scene or a love scene, whatever, she was there. So our research was right. I think this is the most authentic doctor film ever made in Hindi cinema.
Oh, beautiful. Yeah, I can't wait for that. And here you straddled with Rakul. I mean, I love her. She's a quintessential Siddharni. Great fun to be around. She's also now started a business. She's doing gyms and this and that. I'm very impressed by her entrepreneurial spirit.
She's a go-getter.
Yeah. And the other end, there's Shefali, who's now suddenly become the OTT queen. So obviously, because Rakul and you were more the same age, it must have been a different vibe and the vibe that you had with Shefali. Just your co-actors.
With Rakul, I remember my first gig as an anchor was in 2006. I hosted a May Queen ball.
What is it?
And Rakul was a contestant.
In Chandigarh?
In Delhi.
In Delhi? Oh, wow. Dhalakwa.
Yeah, and I went...
It must have been in the Army Officers Institute. They always do this May Queen ball. Yeah,
so I anchored that gig and I was 22. Rakul was 17 that time. And she was in 12th standard or something. And she was in top 5. She didn't win, but she remembers that. And when we met for the first time, she told me that, okay, you were part of this May Queen ball. What are you saying? That was my first ever gig. So we go back a long way, though we were not in touch. But when she met me for the readings and everything, she just told me about this. I was like, wow, this is fascinating. And Shefali Shah, I think she adds a lot of value to the film. There's a lot of credibility behind her, of whatever work she's done on OTT. And the kind of character she has certain poise in the film. Like she's the professor and senior doctor, HOD of gynaec department. I think we have a great chemistry on screen. And Sheeba Chadha, this is my third film with her.
No, she's awesome as your mummy. I love the Tinder. Tinder mein bhi dal.
We've had this 100% record with her. We did Dam Laga Ke Aisha, Badhai Ho, and now Dr. G. So, God willingly, this will also work. Yeah.
Ayushmann Khurrana films are always high on social context. And one thing is the female gaze, the male gaze. The other thing is doctors and the respect that we have for them in society. I feel very pained when I see, doctors have been assaulted because of the COVID situation. There were not beds, they were not this. Doctors have been assaulted because somebody was not given a treatment properly in the hospital. Because there's administration, there are doctors. So I'd like you to talk about your feelings towards the medical profession.
The trailer of Dr. G begins with this assault. Though, of course, we showed it in the comic way, but it's a statement.
It's a statement.
That we should not be treating doctors like that. They've been COVID warriors. They've kept themselves or their professions first and risked their lives for people. And they've helped them in the past 2 years, and respect for them has grown manifold because of the sacrifices they've made in the past couple of years. So I think we should respect our doctors the most, and I've always felt that real heroes of this world are not actors but doctors. And even with this film, Dr. G, I interviewed Dr. Ganatra, the top gynecologist.
Of course.
And we've been actually asking doctors to go for this, to promote our film rather than actors going for it.
You should do a special screening for them.
We are doing that.
Oh, lovely.
So we're doing special screenings, and that's the statement we're making, that the real hero of this heroes of this film are not actors but the doctors. ये film उन्हीं की वजह से हुई है.
That's a lovely statement.
Yeah.
That's a lovely statement.
So we're having a screening, and I'll be going for that screening, and let's see how they feel about it, because this trailer is doing rounds in the gynaec department, and then they're really excited about it.
Oh, lovely. As a father, was it easier to dig your teeth into this role? Because fathers know how to hold the child in the correct posture. Some essentials. And obviously, just like me, you must have been in the delivery room for your deliveries. Huh?
I was not.
Oh,
No, I'm fine. That was a deliberate decision.
खून से कुछ है.
नहीं, खून से नहीं है. I was like, we want a very, very good sex life, so it's I don't want to. She was also like, don't be there, just don't be inside the room. I was like, okay, I agree with you.
I'm going to have a laughing fit now.
I asked the same question to Dr. Ganatra, that you have been dealing with this situation. He has delivered more than 10,000 babies in the past 30 years. I was like, how do you get turned on by looking at a woman? Because you've been surrounded by reproductive organs day in and day out. And it's like, no, you just have to shift your mind, and and I've been doing this for the past 30 years. I'm a father of 2 kids. I was like, wow, good for you, man, but it's difficult. I'm a layman, I don't know how to deal with it.
So even that, but obviously once the children came, you know how to do all the other stuff.
You have gone through that drill, being a father of 2, so it really helped me as an actor in Dr. G.
So Diwali is just around the corner. What do the Khurranas normally do? I hope you're going back home for Diwali. Are you shooting? Are you filming? What is your scene?
You're still deciding, Sunita? What are we doing? Are we shooting during Diwali?
Normally, what do the Khurranas do on Diwali?
This is going to be the toughest Diwali, because that's the only time I'm home for at least 5 days. But this time around, of course, Dr. G is happening. That'll finish by 14th of October. I'll be shooting for Dreamworld 2. Then I'll be also, doing planning for Action Heroes release. So I'm quite cluttered like that this Diwali.
Yeah. So what happens normally? I mean, is there some tash? I mean, nobody gambles. It's more a shagun kind of thing.
I'm not a tash person. Yeah.
Okay.
Cards were not allowed at a place. My father is very strict like that. But Tahira loves it. and my friends love it.
Are there diyas, mithaiyan,
हाँ,
some
वो होता है.
sparklers?
So we do that all Diwali puja and everything. We go to Chandigarh, there's pre-Diwali function at our place, at Tahira's place, and then there's Diwali puja at our place next day. So that's what happens mostly.
And mithaiyan?
Yes. Oh, I
Full
love
khana.
sweet. I live to eat. I love Desi sweets. I love Punjabi sweets. I just can't live now.
And all the relatives and the friends come in. It's like an open house, yeah. And do you get a new joda of kapda and wear that, or you just?
Joda, pata nahi. Sometimes my stylist sources clothes for me that we have to return. But there's no point buying clothes here. Like, of course, being actors, what will you do? You have generic black suit and these things.
That's a very valid point.
But there is no point buying suit because you can't repeat.
Correct.
What is the point in the public eye?
And even for the planet, it's good if you recycle. I mean, why should you constantly be?
Clothes and we return.
But मम्मी तो बोलती होंगी ना कि नए जोड़े कपड़े होने चाहिए.
उनको समझ ही नहीं आती अभी तक. ये तो कपड़े अच्छा, मैं कहा ये मेरे नहीं है, वापस करने हैं. वापस क्यों करने हैं? इतना अच्छा कमा रहा है तूने, पैसे कपड़े वापस करने हैं. यार ये अब ऐसे ही है.
Happy Dasera, my dear friend. Happy Diwali to you, and I hope Dr. G is a resounding success.
Thank you so much, Hrishi.
14th of October in theaters. Please give it a lot of love.